let's talk about it. How to keep your dog or stop your dog from pulling on a leash during the walks. You used to do it, and she still does every now and again, but I'll show you what's up. All right, so I've been trying to make this video for a little bit, and it's always like thinking, how should I show it with my dog? Do I do actually out on the walk? And a couple of things. When I'm on the walk, I'm on the walk. I've learned that you need to be present, and you've heard it before, thrown around before. Be present where you're at, live in the moment. And as overused as it is, I think it's overused for a reason, because it really is true. It is important to be present in what it is that you're doing. Like right here, I'm doing this video. Even though I'm in the middle of a project right now of doing a little painting, trying to build up my energy to keep on going. Took a little break, had some lunch, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go do this video right now, and I'm gonna be present for the video. So then when I get back to painting, I'm fully and focused and living in that moment of painting. So I figured, okay, let's do that dog walk video. We're pushing back the dog walk today. Air quality is a little, it's okay today. We still got those fires going on, but it said moderate, so we're good. However, it is really hot. So we're waiting till when the sun shifts in a certain way to where it's not directly hitting on us. Floor is not that hot. That's a big thing for us. And then also just, the sun on the skin. You got to take care of the skin. It's our biggest organ. The way my dog currently, Valentina, aka Tuna, aka Sweet Cheeks, is a medium energy dog. You saw her. She's a petite female Rottweiler. She's my third Rott. And I've always had medium energy, hella strong Rotts. Valentina, don't let her size fool you. She tracks her macros. Her nutrition is on point. Vitamins, supplements, all organic, all home cooked meals. Exercises every day with her backpack. She's strong, like real strong. But she's medium energy. But she does have that spike at the beginning where it could be like, oh my gosh, is she a high energy dog? No, she's medium energy. But still, if I don't do what I'm about to explain to you right now, before the walks, before we go for a walk, she'll, throughout the whole walk, which is close to 2 miles, a little bit shy of 2 miles, we do it every day, she'll be pulling. Even though I use a retractable leash, I use a retractable leash to give her that idea that she's like off leash. But at the same time, it gives me peace of mind that, one, I'm following the park rules, because you're supposed to have your dog on a leash the whole time. Two, for courtesy of others, of course, if maybe there's someone else there at the park that is scared of dogs, doesn't like dogs, and sees mine not on a leash. Three, safety. There's cars, bikes, other dogs. I like to be able to reel her in if I need to, if she's, a little bit off to the side. But for the most part, the leash is unlocked. She could take off if she wants, but she doesn't. She stays right there. And this has taken a long time for me to figure out. I tried different techniques, different collars, different slip leads, different. And I mean, what I did was just, going back to that, is just be present in the walk. Watch her. Don't get frustrated. Don't get, why can't you do this? Is it me? Is it you? Whatever. They don't speak English. Yelling at them doesn't do much. It's just understanding. Like, where are you at? What's your deal? If I was you and I was like that, what is it? And of course, I didn't come up with this myself. This was watching other pro dog trainers, tips here, tips there, but just using the fundamentals, First of all, you're a medium, you're a dog. You love to exercise, you have to exercise. We all do. I mean, how do I feel when I don't exercise? And you don't feel good. You do feel like you have all this pent up energy. Those of you who exercise, you understand me, you feel me. It's like, imagine going like never exercising. How would you feel? Or for those of us like me that I didn't exercise for a long time, years, decades, and all of a sudden you start exercising, you kind of slap your head like, oh my gosh, what was I doing not exercising? This changed my whole life. I feel great. It's fundamental. It's a fundamental for dogs too, many animals. We're talking about dogs here, so in this case, my dog, I figured, like, okay, what about if I just went for walks every day? I mean, I like doing my push-ups, my burpees, weight training. Imagine if all of a sudden it's like, well, let's just go for a casual walk for 2 miles, but would that be cool and everything? But aren't we going to do push-ups? Aren't we going to get our heart rate up? Are we going to do some strength training where we actually have to make faces and grunt to get that last rep in? Like, no, we're just going to go for a walk. Well, I was like, well, I got this energy inside me. I need to kind of, take it out. I need to raise my vibration. I need to feel good, because exercise raises your vibe. Good thoughts, good feelings, good actions. I'm assuming that it's the same with the dogs. You raise their vibe, they're going to have good thoughts, good feelings, good actions. The way they act. You pent up energy dog, frustrated dog, is going to chew and bark and do all this kind of behavior that maybe we don't really approve of. When you start exercising them every day, that means they're going to have good thoughts, good feelings, good actions. That I'm not for sure. But that's how I function, and we're very similar, with our fur babies. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But I just kind of was present. Like I was saying, I was just kind of there. It's like, okay, if I was you, starting with that, it's like, I like to exercise. What about if it was just a walk? Maybe she just doesn't want to walk. It's like, yeah, they say you gotta. And I would hear from the pros, the Cesar Milans, the other guys, a couple ladies that I watch too. You gotta exercise them. Like, okay, well, I don't. It's difficult for me to take a bike to the park. I can't load it. It's just a big project. I like making stuff as simple as possible to get it done. To load up a bike, maybe I could buy a foldable bike. That's a project, but I took a scooter once. I ate it. I fell. It wasn't fun. And it was giving me some results, so that could have been it. A bike would be perfect, because I just go up and down. I see these big dog walking companies, and they get the bigger dogs with the energy, and they bike them for a while. Like, okay, what about if I do a bike here at home, then I load her up, then I take her. She's probably going to get her energy back by the time we get there. Like, what do I do? Okay, the scooter's off didn't work out, so that's not it. Practical. I like to keep it practical. The backpack works. The backpack's a little bit more mindset, because it's not like there's any weight in there. There's a couple water bottles, but that ain't much. So it's not about that so much. That the backpack was a little bit more mental, like, oh, cool, we're going to work. And she's a working dog, so that gives me that, like, yeah, I'm carrying stuff. Doesn't matter what it is, I'm just carrying stuff. So that was cool for that part. But it's like, okay, I know you just wanna run around for a while, and how do I get it to where it's fun? And again, like, practical. I got the long leash. That's one way to do it, but I'm gonna teach you even more of a much more simple way to do it. Especially because we just don't want to let out a bunch of energy, which is one thing, but we also want to get them to stop pulling on the leash. So I did the long leash, and we run around and stuff, but it was like, okay, we're just running around, and then I do the walk with the long leash, which is fun. But it was just a bunch of sniffing and chasing and sometimes a little digging, which is still, like I said, if it's more of a recreational, fun, casual, let's go have a play time at the park, that's cool. But if we're talking, I want to teach you to stop pulling, or get you to stop pulling, so we can enjoy this walk together. This is what I've done, and it worked out. Till this day, it still works out. One, you got to be, like I said, it's you and your dog for the walk. As much as I want to sit there and talk to Suhei, my wife, or who goes with us, my daughter, she goes with us. I want to sit there and have a conversation, and with whoever goes with us, and my son or Victor, whoever comes with us, I've tried it, and not with her. She's not that type of dog. She needs my attention. It's a connection time between me and her. I understand that, and I also love that. So I want to embrace that moment and take advantage of that moment before, the moment's over, the day's over, the walk is over. So I have to pay attention to that walk and be totally present in that walk. So once I understand that, I don't let me not being able to socialize get bothered about it. Okay, we've cut that out of the equation, and we started moving forward with just focusing on her. So I get myself my treats. My favorite treat, the most healthiest treat, it's cheap, it's available everywhere, is baby carrots. I get a baby carrot, I cut them into 4 or 5 pieces each. I don't make them too small or too big, and then I got my little rubber pouch that I carry in my belt. I get a handful of carrots, chop them up, put them in the little pouch, we're good to go. It's healthy. She has that for dinner anyways. It's not more calories, but she loves them. They're delicious, they're refreshing, and it's not gonna cause her any health issues or weight gain or nothing. So we have that. So now my pouch is full of valuable treats. Not to mention me. She loves me. So okay, cool. When we get there, it's calm. She's already excited. I mean, every day we show up to the park, it's like her first day showing up to the park. She's very excited. She's whistling. She's looking around everywhere. So I open up the hatch. I put her backpack on. And this would work if you're walking out of your pad too. You don't have to go to the park. You can do it, on your sidewalks. But we prefer to go to the park just because it's less condensed. But same deal. I put the backpack on. By the time I put the backpack on and I open it, she's calm already. She's not whistling. She's not excited. But if she was, I would wait a minute till she would calm down. Wouldn't pet her. Wouldn't talk to her. Wouldn't do anything. Just have her chill. Again, it's about me and her. It's about the structure. It's not about hurrying up. So by this time, my wife and my daughter take off. They do their thing with the pooches that they're handling. And it usually takes me about, a minute or so to get her situated. Like I said, I put her backpack on, put her harness on. Put her leash on her harness. She wears her harness because I seatbelt her up to the truck. And then I carry her off the truck. I put her down, put her in a heel position. I give her first carrot just to let her know, hey, you know what? I'm loaded, so let's go. And in my mind, okay, the first few minutes, it's let's get that edge off. Let's get that energy out of the way. So right away, I shut the truck and I get into the grassy area and I tell her to go play. So she runs to one tree, and then since it's a retractable leash, the long ones, I'll follow her to where she stops and she starts sniffing, and then I'll walk the opposite way. But I won't pull her. I'll wait till she's done sniffing. And once I see that she's done sniffing whatever it is that she's sniffing, I call her. I go this way. So she'll take off running full speed towards me, pass me up, find something and sniff on the other side, and then I'll run behind her. She stops, finds something interesting, starts sniffing that. I start walking the opposite way. I don't pull. Even though the leash gets to the end, I'll take 2 steps forward towards her just to keep it loose so there's no tension. Once I see that she's done sniffing, this way, I call her towards me. So sometimes she comes towards me and she sits right in front of me. If she does that to check in, boom, she gets a carrot. Then I go play, and she goes to another tree. When she gets to that tree, I go the opposite way. Wait till she's done, call her. So here we're doing one of these. I'm the central point, but she's kind of back and forth. We do that for no more than 5-6 minutes. She's huffing and puffing. Whoopee cushion tongues off to the side. She's loving it. Unless it's cold, then it takes a little longer, but usually no more than 5 to 10 minutes of sniffing this way, sniffing that way, sniffing this way, sniffing that way. I let her do that. Then we go to a separate, little bit different section, 10, 15, 20 steps towards the way we go for our walk. Let her do a few more trees over there. I do the same technique. Go the opposite way. This is getting the actual running exercise that she needs out of her. No bike, no scooter, no skateboard, no nothing. Just there at the park. And I don't have to have this huge leash. Just my, 25 foot retractable. Let her run one way. I go the opposite way. She passes me. She gets to me. I give her a treat. She goes sniffs and finds some more interesting stuff that she'd want to go sniff. Go over there, go sniff. I go the opposite way, call her. But I don't pull her. I don't tug her. I don't hurry her up. I let her let her get her sniff on. Once I see that she's done, then is when I call her. She comes to me right away. I treat her if she does check in. If she doesn't, I don't. And she just runs to the next tree. She knows she's in play mode, which is why I kind of go play. So she puts it in her head. Not that she understands English, but she knows that, okay, this is where I get to run around and be loose and go this way and go that way. And I'm keeping my eye on her. I'm not on my phone. I'm not looking around. I'm paying attention to make sure that she's not eating anything. She's not digging. I just let her kind of be like normal dog, Then we run this way, then we run this. And I'm watching her, and as soon as I see that she's panting, that she's running, that she went from having that excited face to oh, this is great, Papa, this is cool. I do a few more, and it doesn't take very long. Like I tell you, like 5-10 minutes on a cold day, maybe 10-12 minutes max. And I'll tell her to go play, and she won't leave 2-3 feet from me. She'll stay within the little circle right here, sniffing there, comes back for a treat, sniffs there, comes back for another carrot, sniffs there, come back for another carrot. She's done with the running super far. She exhausted all that extra energy. She let it out. So she's just kind of there. It's like, okay, cool. And we start our walk. Let's go for a walk. Cool. And I'll verbalize it. Let's go for a walk. Stay with me. Stay next to me. Okay, cool. We'll take off. Start walking. And if she goes off to the front just a little bit, I quietly just flip a U-turn and start walking the opposite way. So she thinks she's ahead of me and she's going that way when I'm already walking this way. I'm turning my head, keeping an eye on her. Sometimes I walk backwards. I go, hey, where you going? Where you going? Let's go. And she turns around like, oh, there. So she runs a little bit more, gets next to me. I give her a treat. Remember, I got a handful of carrots in my pouch. She gets next to me. I flip a U-turn again, and we go back in the direction that we were going, the right way. Again, we're going. If she stops to sniff, I kind of give her a little correction, like, no more sniffing. We're walking now. We're in travel mode. This is now structured walk. And she stays there. I let her get a little bit ahead if she wants to, because usually she'll slow it down, or I'll just I try to keep the leash loose at all times and just go with verbal. Like, hey, get back here, stay with me, heel, whatever command you have for that. But if she gets a little too ahead, like I said, I'll start walking backwards. I don't do the pull, I don't do the yank, no correction. Just when I know that I'm getting close to the end of the 25 feet and she still hasn't realized, like, hey, where's Papa? I'll say, hey, where you going? And then she'll like turn around like, oh my God. She'll realize it's always the same thing. Hey, where are you going? Hey, where are you going? This helps her realize like, oh, dang, I was getting ahead. When I get ahead, he starts going the other way. I don't want him to leave me. I want to stay with the pack, the two unit pack. She comes back to me. We do a U-turn. We go back to the direction we were going. At the beginning, we may have to do that 2-3 times, and then she realizes it like, okay, now remember, she just had to do 2-3 sprints of 25 feet back to me. So that shaves off a little bit more energy. By that time, she really is panting. But there's always a lot of excitement. There's trees, there's stuff to sniff, there's other, whatever. She wants to pee, she wants to do that. So I just keep on doing it. And then I'll stay, it'll be a while where she's just there, ears back, travel mode, pump, 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 pump. And shoulders back, chin up, watching her, make sure she's good, not talking, nothing, not on my phone, focused on the walk, enjoying the walk, being grateful. I'm so thank you for this moment. I'm so grateful for being out here, having this great park. I'm glad that I'm able to communicate with her that all I want her to do is to have a good time, fulfill her needs of letting out all that energy, me not getting frustrated, and also including a necessary structured walk. So we go, I'll even on purpose go into the grass a little bit. Not right now because they got something going on in the grass over there. So we stay off the grass. If she stays sniffing, I'll do the same thing. I'll keep on walking. And then once I get to the point where it's about to tighten, it's about to run out, I'll say, hey, where you going? And then she'll kind of realize it. If she's too deep into the sniff where I say that, and she doesn't respond, she doesn't quickly get up and start coming to me, I'll lock the leash, and I'll give her a light correction like, hey, and then she'll usually just kind of come up. I go, where are you going? We're leaving, let's go. And she'll another sprint, bam, bam, right towards me. I'll have her check in, she sits down, I give her a treat for coming when I called her. And then we go. Usually right after that, she wants to take off. And I'll wait. I won't move and say, where are you going? She'll come back like, oh, yeah, that's right. So she's a little distracted. She's a little, I think they say it's a typical thing of Rottweilers. But keeping on it, she picks it up and she's like, oh, yeah, that's right. She stays right back where we need to go. Then we take off. She gets up a little bit. I quickly just put it in reverse. All I have put in my head as far as my self-programming is every time she gets ahead and I have to go back, I'm giving her that special treat of 25 feet of a sprint. She gets to do another sprint, as opposed to my old way of thinking is like, why are you so ahead? Why do you want to get ahead? Are you in a hurry? I sit there and I reprimand her like if she understood, right? But now what I see it is like, I'm going to walk backwards. I get to call her, hey, where are you going? And she gets an extra 25 feet of a sprint. And automatically she started picking it up that, like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to be ahead. But I think like a little bit more like, oh, I think this is more what's happening is the fact that she's getting tired. 25 feet, 25 feet, 25, a sprint. Not to mention at the beginning how we did 5 to 10 minutes of just sprinting back and forth, back and forth. She's pretty tired. A tired dog is a fulfilled, happy dog. So by the time we're like a quarter or halfway through the park, she's really tired. At that point, she just stays right next to me. Right next to me, and we're just going. And I put a little bit of spring in my step, because remember, my wife and my daughter took off already, and they're in chill, slow mode, you know, not slow mode, but just kind of a very steady, chill pace. So because she has a lot of energy, and she's a bigger dog, she's a larger dog, I put a little bit of hurry upness. So after all those backs and forths, and actually putting in a little bit of speed, I end up catching up to them. Sometimes I even pass them up. By that time, you maybe get one or two more get ahead to sniff situations where I have to put it in reverse and go back. Hey, where you going? And she comes back, boom, 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 gets next to me, and then stays right next to me. She stops the pulling. Not one pull happens anymore. She gets to get extra exercise, because really, I'm sure what she wants is she wants to run for miles. I don't have the bike to do that. I got to work with what I got. I try to make it as practical as possible. We used to do the treadmill, but it's just one of those things that we would do the treadmill here for like half an hour. By the time we got to the park, it was the same deal. Yes, she got the exercise, and I'd still do it for the exercise, but it wasn't solving my pulling situation. I did the corrections, like I said, the collars, the slip leads, the easy leader, friendly leader from the snout. No, I trust me, I tried them all. Not saying that they don't work, but maybe I just wasn't doing it right. So what I wanted to share is something that I did that's kind of organic, kind of just normal. A little extra exercise, a little extra patience, a mindset of I just want to fulfill you. Let's use this situation that you get ahead as an opportunity to give you another sprint, a little bit more exercise. I'm not hurting you by giving you any unhealthy treats. I'm giving you carrots. I get to interact with you a little bit more. I'm paying attention to you 100%. So we're really just absorbing and enjoying this moment to the fullest. It's made the walks a lot more pleasant. I really enjoy hanging out with her. I know what she's about. I know she's a medium energy dog. I know that she loves to do the runs, and every single time it's just it's better and better and better, in the sense of she gets ahead less and less and less, and I let her go play even a little longer, as I figured out that she goes ahead less times during the walk. So now I know that she's like getting it. So what I do now is at the beginning we have more playtime, but really more playtime doesn't really mean more, because she's kind of done. She's kind of like, okay, let's go. But a few more minutes, it's always noticeable that she does. You know, I make it entertainment. Let's go. Let's. You haven't done this tree. Let's go check out this tree. Oh, look at, I think there's a new tree over here, and we just run, or I'll run. Role play chase. We even do the zoomies before we get started, and she's definitely up for some zoomies at the beginning because she has all that energy. This all happened as I started noticing that she would get ahead less and less and less. So the reward was we get to play at the beginning a little bit more time, because we have the time, since we're not using up the time going back and forth, back and reverse, you know, bringing her back from her getting ahead. We got that little bit extra time at the beginning, which is a lot, really super enjoyable for me and her, as we get some playtime as opposed to just the structured walk. I really hope this helps. Try it. Like I said, it's that U-turn thing. Give her some exercise at the beginning. Go the opposite ways. Watch this video a couple times if it makes sense. If you got any questions, drop them below. I'll answer them. And when they get ahead, you know, use that retractable in your favor. Just start walking backwards and say, hey, where are you going? Remember the treat. As soon as she comes, like, oh yeah, that's right. As soon as they come in, you give her the treat. They'll know that when they come back, they get a treat. Maybe not all the time if you don't need to, but at least it makes you valuable the first time, where like, oh, Dad, that's right. If I go, I get it. And it stays right there. Then at the end, every now and again, you hit them off with the good boy, good girl, because they're right next to you. You give them a treat just because, like, you're doing great. So way to stay with me. Way to stay with me. Bam, you give them a treat. It's been working out for me. I hope it works out for you. Like I said, if you got any questions, hit me up. I'll catch you on the next one.